Have you ever watched the person you love become a complete stranger right before your eyes? The screen of her phone cast a pale blue glow on her face at 2:17 a.m., a sight that had become my unwelcome ritual. She thought I was asleep. She was wrong. For 6 months, late nights at the office had been the excuse, a flimsy shield for a secret I could feel in the cold air of our bedroom. Her thumb moved in a practiced, almost lazy rhythm across the glass, a soft smile playing on her lips. It wasn't a smile for me. I hadn't seen that smile in years. No. That night, lying perfectly still, I finally admitted the truth to myself. My marriage was a lie, and the woman beside me was living a double life. I just had to prove it. Oh. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from. And what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. It started subtly. A new perfume she'd wear out, but never at home. Vague answers about her day at the high-powered Chicago law firm where she was a junior partner. Just busy, babe, she'd say, kissing my cheek, the gesture feeling more like a formality than an act of affection. Jessica had always been ambitious, driven. I was the stable foundation, the supportive husband who managed my own successful contracting business, ensuring our life in our Lincoln Park brownstone was perfect. I was proud of her. But pride curdled into suspicion. The late nights became more frequent, stretching into weekends. Big merger, she'd text, the words feeling hollow and rehearsed. The first real crack in her story was a receipt. I was cleaning out her car, a Saturday morning task I always handled, and found a crumpled slip from a restaurant I knew she hated, The Gauge. Right across from Millennium Park. It was dated from a Tuesday she was supposedly buried in paperwork. Dinner for two. 2 expensive entrees, a bottle of wine. I felt a cold dread wash over me. I called her, my voice tight. Hey, how was The Gauge last week? Silence, then a nervous laugh. Oh my God, a client insisted. It was dreadful, you know I hate that place. The lie was too quick, too smooth. It was the moment the fog began to clear. She became a ghost in our home, cold and manipulative. Any question about her schedule was met with accusations. Why are you so insecure all of a sudden? Don't you trust me? She'd turn it around, making me the villain, the paranoid husband trying to hold her back. The villains, her and whoever she was meeting, felt untouchable. They were living in a world of whispered secrets and stolen moments, while I was left in the ruins of our shared life, questioning my own sanity. The emotional toll was crushing. I stopped sleeping. Food tasted like ash. One night after another empty excuse, I broke down. I sat on the floor of our walk-in closet, surrounded by the life we had built, and I wept. Not just for the betrayal, but for the man I used to be, the happy, trusting man she had killed. That night, something inside me shifted. The grief hardened into a cold, sharp resolve. I wasn't going to be a victim. I was going to be a strategist. Hired a private investigator, a grizzled ex-cop, who operated out of a small office in the Loop. I gave him the details, the times, the name of her firm. While he gathered the tangible proof, I started my own investigation. I installed recovery software on our home computer, and what I found was a digital tapestry of her affair. Emails, not to a work address, but to a private Gmail account. They were with a senior partner at her firm, Mark, a man I'd met at company parties, a smug, self-satisfied guy with a predatory smile. The emails were graphic, filled with details of their trysts at the Waldorf Astoria on Rush Street, the very hotel she claimed her firm used for out-of-town clients. I saved everything. Every email, every hotel confirmation, every lie. I was building an arsenal. The trap was set in 3 parts: social, legal, and financial. Legally, I consulted a shark of a divorce attorney. With the proof, I had the PI's photos of them entering the Waldorf. The emails, the receipts my lawyer assured me, Illinois' dissipation of assets clause would be my weapon. Jessica had been spending our joint funds on this affair. Hotels, lavish dinners, gifts for Mark. I had the bank statements to prove it. Socially, I waited. Jessica's firm was having its annual awards gala at the Art Institute of Chicago. It was the biggest night of their year. Everyone would be there. Financially, I quietly moved my personal business assets into a new series of accounts. legally separating my earnings from our shared finances, a move my lawyer guided me through. The night of the gala was electric. Jessica was radiant in a backless gown, dripping with a confidence that now looked like pure arrogance. She held my hand, a prop for the evening. Mark was there, schmoozing with his wife on his arm, occasionally catching Jessica's eye with a conspiratorial smirk. They thought they were invincible. During the main presentation, the firm's managing partner stood at the podium. As he was about to announce the Partner of the Year, an award Jessica was nominated for, a series of photos flashed onto the massive screen behind him. Not a corporate slideshow. It was them. Photo from my pie of Jessica and Mark, kissing passionately outside the Waldorf. Another of them holding hands at the gauge, an enlarged screenshot of an email. A particularly damning one where Jessica mocked me. The room fell into a stunned, deafening silence. I watched Jessica's face. The color drained from it, her expression collapsing from triumph to horror. Mark looked like he'd been shot. His wife let out a strangled gasp and fled the room. It was a massacre. The next day, Jessica was fired, a firm facing a massive scandal, cut ties with both of them immediately. Mark's wife filed for divorce. When Jessica came home, she was a shell. The arrogance was gone, replaced by a desperate, pleading rage. "How could you?" she screamed. I just stood there, my face a mask of calm. "How could I asterisk?" I replied, my voice chillingly quiet. The divorce papers were served the next day. In court, the evidence was overwhelming. The judge crucified her for the dissipation of assets, awarding me a significantly larger portion of our shared property. She was left with her ambition, now in ashes, and a reputation that was utterly destroyed. I sold the brownstone. I moved out of Chicago, wanting a new sky, a new life. Sometimes, late at night, I think of her, not with anger anymore, but with a strange, hollow pity. She had everything, and she threw it all away for a cheap thrill with a man who was just as empty as she was. The revenge wasn't sweet. It was just necessary. It was the cold, quiet closing of a door that should have been locked long ago. The last I heard, she was working as a paralegal in a small town somewhere in Wisconsin, a ghost of the woman she once pretended to be. The end.